I would not wish this on anyone, but imagine a scenario where you, as a federal employee and not fully eligible to retire, receive a RIF notice. Now, if you were fully eligible to retire, as much as it is a tough situation, at least you can receive your pension with no penalties and keep those benefits. For those who are not fully eligible to retire, it can be a much tougher option in many ways. In this episode, we will discuss how the RIF might impact you if you're past MRA or not, what options do you have for your TSP depending upon your age, and offer some specific action items that you could be doing now in case you're faced with this situation. I am Zubin Kapoor, and I'm a financial planner at Valor Wealth Partners, where we are dedicated to educating federal employees on how to maximize value from their complex but yet often underutilized benefits. In the past, a RIF notice would offer you a 60-day window to wrap things up. We believe that OPM is looking at reducing that to 30 days. Once you receive a RIF notice, you are either not at MRA, which does not leave you much choice, or if you're past MRA or minimum retirement age, then you have a few choices to make. Now, in essence, there are three types of MRA retirements. MRAs are typically between the ages of 55 and 57, 57 if you were born after 1970. But generally, if you've been born after 1968, you should have passed minimum retirement age. Please refer to the link below to look at the MRA chart in detail. Now, if you were at minimum retirement age and had more than 30 years of service, you're fully eligible to retire, and this makes your choice a bit easier. With MRA plus 10 and MRA plus 20, it gets a little bit tricky. However, currently, if you are MRA and have 20 years of service, or for that matter, you are 50 years of age and have 20 years of service, you would qualify for a DSR if you were let go, with this meaning that you could walk away with full benefits and pension. Let's look at a case study here where Mary is 60 years of age and has 15 years of service. She has just received a RIF notice. Now, even though she is not fully eligible to retire, she can leave with a pension, albeit with some strings attached. And as she is eligible for a pension, she does not qualify for severance. Mary is faced with two choices, penalty or no penalty. If she decides to take the pension now, she receives a penalty on her pension that is equal to 5% for every year below the age of 62. Hence, she will receive a 10% reduction on her pension for the rest of her life. The 10% being derived with 5% for every year that she is below the age of 62. But in this case, as she is taking her pension right away, she qualifies to keep her FEHB and her FEHB, assuming that she has had it for the last 5 years and is eligible for those benefits. The second choice she has is the one with no penalty. Now, in this case, she opts for a postponed retirement where she will pick up her pension and her benefits at the age of 62. However, between now and when her pension starts, she will not have access to her benefits. In either case, the Special Retirement Supplement, or SRS, is not an option for Mary. It is critical that she puts in her retirement paperwork before the month she turns 62, or she might be in jeopardy of losing her benefits. Let's look at Mary's co-worker, Jim. He is 51 years of age and has 12 years of service. As he has not reached minimum retirement age, he's eligible for severance. Please click on the link below to access our severance calculator. Jim is at this point eligible for a deferred pension. This would mean that he would collect his pension at age 62, as he did not reach his minimum retirement age, and will not be eligible for benefits at all. The Special Retirement Supplement is not an option for Jim. Now, Jim's brother Jack, who is 55 years of age and has 21 years of service, he would be fully eligible for retirement if he got RIF'd under the rules of the DSR. Jack would pick up his Special Retirement Supplement, or SRS, at the age of 57, which is most likely his minimum retirement age. In these scenarios, TSP is not accessible before the age of 59 and a half without a penalty. Now, Mary and Jack can have access to their TSP without a 10% penalty, being that Mary was more than 59 and a half, she was 60 when she received her RIF notice, and Jack was fully eligible to retire and he was more than 55 years of age. But Jim, being only 51 years, is most likely going to be subject to a 10% penalty if he withdrew money from the TSP. Penalty-free withdrawals are available if you can prove financial hardship, which might be a scenario if you lost your job and you were single, or did not have a working spouse. You can also access the TSP via a SEP, or substantially equal periodic payments. This is a complex decision, and we would suggest that you work with a financial planner to see what best options are for you. In essence, you can choose one of three methods, as directed by the IRS, to withdraw penalty-free funds from your TSP, or IRA for that matter, for a minimum of 5 years or until you turn 59 and a half, whichever one is longer. This is also known as the rule of 72T. Now, of course, before you leave service, you have the option of taking a loan from your TSP and ensure that your payments are set up after you leave service. This can be a less expensive option for some in a ways to boost your reserves, and a less expensive option if your only other option is credit card debt. So please keep the TSP loan option in mind. For both the deferred and postponed pension, the loss of FEHB can be a troubling one. There are a few options for you to consider. One option would be to continue with the same FEHB plan that you have. However, in this case, you will end up paying 102% of the total premium. Roughly, the way you calculate the total premium is determining what it is that you're paying on a monthly basis and multiplying that by 3.5. Now, you also have the option to use this as an LQE, or a life qualifying event, and join your spouse's health plan if that is a possibility for you. Or the third option is to enroll in the ACA, or the Affordable Care Act, via your state's healthcare exchange, and depending upon your family income for that year and the number of people covered in that health plan, you might be eligible for a health subsidy. Please do your research before joining the ACA. Use a health broker if need be. I have used a health broker in the past, and it might be easier than navigating all the choices by yourself. Hopefully you're already executing on these other action items, and these might just serve as a reminder for some. Your resume should be updated, networking going in full force, and see what employment options might be out there for you. Make sure that you've examined your cash flow, reduced your non-discretionary expenses, and built up your reserves. And in some cases, you might have to reduce your TSP contributions to build up your reserves. Make sure that you've bought back any time outstanding, and these are done in a timely manner so that you're not scrambling at the last minute to ensure that your time that is creditable for you is bought back. Electronic records have been downloaded. Make sure you have copies of that, and ensure that if you're using your work email to access any non-work related websites, that is switched to your personal email. Being handed a letter that results in one losing your job is a tough spot to be in. I have been there and I can empathize. If you can be prepared with knowing what your options are, what decisions need to be made, ensuring that you have enough reserves, have a clearly defined path for health insurance for you and your family, and scoping out job opportunities will only help make this transition a little bit easier. Please ensure you get conflict-free advice. Until then, take care.